Program, and we'll start a session which called Life Science Sector Highlights in Baltics. My name is Rimantas Žylius. I'm the editor-in-chief of the business daily Rimantas Žylius. I don't know why I was invited to moderate this session, but probably because we are publishing a magazine, monthly magazine, Popular Science, which of course gives a lot of space for biotechnology and life sciences each issue. Life science, which comprises of fields of science that involve study of living organisms, seems to be most mystic activities for general public. Do we know another industry which can produce 50 milligrams of liquid in a small glass bottle worth hundreds of thousands of euros? Do we know another industry which heats our imagination about opening new horizons in human genetics? Do we know another industry which brings so much hope for humanity in overcoming incurable diseases? Finally, there are many industries which accumulate inside itself so much intellect and soaks billions of money for research and development. Probably I will stop here talking for you about life sciences, because who, if not you, knows most about it. And probably I will switch to the session and talk. This session will be dedicated to the things which I think you are not aware of, or you are not so good in it. And to my mind, we shall talk now why life sciences industry in Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia has been skyrocketing over the last 2 decades, and now regarded as one of the most advanced in Central and Eastern Europe. The goal of this session is to explore the great potential of the life sciences in Baltics, which is already discovered by the world-known market leaders like Thermo Fisher Scientific, Moog, Sicor, Teva Group and others. So, as we're a little bit behind our schedule, I will go directly to the speakers. We'll focus, we'll have 2 angles on the same issue. One angle, somebody will call bureaucratic, I will call governmental, and we have 3 speakers from Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia. I will start probably from ladies, Mrs. T. Danilov, who is on the right from me. She is the head of the Economic Development Department of the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Communications in Estonia. We have here Lithuanian Minister of Economics, Mr. Rimantas Žylius. And we have Mr. Juris Puce, State Secretary of the Ministry of Economics of the Republic of Latvia. And another angle, it's business insiders or industry insiders, people who are working in the industry. And again, would like to start with our lady, Ms. Srin Ehem, Estonian Biotechnology Association, Chairwoman of the Board, and Competence Center for Cancer Research, Chairwoman of the Board. Mr. Professor, Dr. of Philosophy, Vladas Algirdas Bumeris, President of the High-Tech Science and Industry Valley Center, Chairman of the Board of the biotech company Biotech Pharma. By the way, he was nominated this year, the CEO of the Year in Lithuania. We have Mr. Vitalijs Fidelis, Chairman of the Board of the Association of Latvian Chemical and Pharmaceutical Industry, owner of Pharma Idea LLC. So, who will start? Probably just to warm up, we will start from the host, Mr. Rimantas Žylius, Minister of Economics of the Republic. And I would propose to work this way. We will listen to the 10-15 minutes speech presenting respective issues. And later on we shall, maybe in more relaxed atmosphere, we'll have questions-answer session on this topic. So, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to speak to such a distinguished audience. Life sciences have been one of the most important sectors in the Lithuanian economy. Its history could be traced back to as early as 1781, when the chemistry and medical faculties were established at Vilnius University. Life sciences started to flourish in the 1960s, when the biochemistry studies were introduced at Vilnius University, and the Institute of Biochemistry was opened in Vilnius. The leader in this former Soviet Union, the Institute of Applied Enzymology, established in 1975, was the first and the only institute of its kind in the Soviet Union. It was a principal supplier of materials for genomic engineering in the Soviet Union and developed the first technologies for production of human recombinant proteins for medicine. These competencies were retained even after the breakup of the Soviet Union. After Lithuania regained independence, the institute spun off a number of enterprises, which became leaders of the Lithuanian biotech industry, and later became global players. In the last 20 years, these companies and the people working in the field have contributed much to achieve impressive progress in both life sciences and Lithuanian economy as a whole. Currently, we have around 130 companies and 47 institutions operating in the field of life sciences. These companies rely on an education system which involves 16 academic institutions and 15 R&D centers, as well as a pool of 18,000 researchers and specialists of life sciences. Besides, talent pool is only growing, as it is one of the most competitive fields of studies in Lithuania. Talented Lithuanian pupils are winners of as many as 36 medals at international Olympiads in the field of chemistry and biology in the last few years. We are very proud to see that the life sciences sector is continuing to develop quickly and contributes to growth and prosperity of the Lithuanian economy significantly. In recent years, annual average export growth rate of biotech enterprises was 16.1%, while the average growth rate of total Lithuanian origin good exports was only 10%. These numbers are perfect proof that our industries are competitive in global markets, when Lithuanian companies find new ways and new opportunities to sell, even when the global economy has slowed down. The revenues of the 10 largest Lithuanian biotech companies, which employ around 1,300 people, was about 1% of the annual Lithuanian GDP in 2011, while in 2015 they are expected to exceed 2% of the annual Lithuanian GDP. Companies based in Lithuania are great examples of why this sector in Lithuania is flourishing. For example, Secor Biotech, acquired by the Israeli company Teva Pharmaceuticals Industries, developed drug products that are marketed in over 30 countries. Did you know that Teva Grastim, a medical against cancer which is 30% cheaper than a similar treatment already on the market, but just as effective, is a Lithuanian invention? The European Medicines Agency granted the marketing authorization for the new medicine in Europe from 2009. Another example, Thermo Fisher Scientific, the world's leader in molecular biology, acquired Rimantas, a Lithuanian grown company with more than 30 years of experience. Rimantas has developed significant expertise in molecular biology and enzymology. It is Lithuanian leader in patenting its products and methods. Another company, Biocentras, was among the 5 finalists of the Most Innovative European Biotech SMEs Award 2011. 2 weeks ago, another Lithuanian company, Biotech Pharma, opened a research and development center, the first and the most modern in Eastern Europe, which offers the whole range of services for pharmaceutical biotechnology. As you see, we have a very solid background in life sciences and, of course, put a lot of emphasis on developing it further. Today, it is one of the highest priorities of Lithuanian innovation policy and receives a special treatment to facilitate its development. Lithuania has invested heavily in R&D infrastructure in different universities, totaling more than 400 million euros since 2009. So business will have open access to cutting-edge R&D facilities. Moreover, Lithuania provides attractive financial incentives for companies to finance their R&D efforts and offers most favorable tax regime for R&D activities in the EU. This includes expenses incurred by companies carrying out R&D projects can be deduced from taxable incomes 3 times. Long-term assets used in R&D activities can be depreciated within 2 years. Companies carrying out investments into new technologies can reduce their taxable profits by up to 50%. Investment expenses exceeding this sum can be postponed to later consecutive tax periods up to 5 years. So, Lithuania has sound economic environment, very much favorable to innovative industries, talented and hardworking people, strong traditions and proven track record in the industry. Remains one of the lowest cost countries in the European Union. Lithuania's economy remains resilient to economic slowdown in the Eurozone, even though in 2009 it experienced 15% GDP drop. Lithuania took necessary austerity measures. It improved business environment and stimulated the economy. So in 2010 started to grow again. Competitiveness gains proved to be sustainable. Lithuania's GDP expanded by nearly 6% in 2011 and continues to grow in 2012 with a projected annual growth rate of almost 3%. Lithuania is among the fastest growing EU countries in Europe. Lithuania offers Europe's prime location and infrastructure, as we are on the very crossroads of 3 huge markets. In the west, the EU countries with a population of 340 million. In the east, the former Soviet Union countries with a population of more than 250 million. And in the north, Nordic Baltic Sea region, which populates with a population of more than 110 million. That is one of the most competitive and innovative regions in the world. Lithuania has developed one of the best internet infrastructure, globally ensuring the world's fastest download speed and second fastest upload speed. But talented, motivated people with appropriate education are the most valuable assets of our country. 30% of the Lithuanian population has higher education, which is one of the highest in the world. Over 90% of the population speaks at least 1 foreign language, and half of the population speaks 2 foreign languages. English and Russian are most popular, but spectrum of languages spoken is growing quickly. I would like to finish my remarks with Goethe. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Therefore, I invite you to get to know Lithuania and its people and your future partners over the next few days. And I would like to invite you to explore opportunities to establish your R&D operations and manufacturing in Lithuania. Talent, infrastructure, and incentives are here. Look for partners to outsource parts of your research and development. Here you can rely on highest quality service and reduce costs. And thirdly, invest in high potential businesses and jointly develop new startups. If you haven't done so yet, please visit the exhibition hall upstairs, where you find agencies Invest in Lithuania and Enterprise Lithuania. They will provide you with any information you will need about opportunities to invest.